So I'm going to tell you a couple of things you might not be aware of. If you don't watch, alternative media like I do. I watch on YouTube Don Lemon and Joy Reid and the Midas Touch Network and others. So if you don't watch those things and you don't watch news period, but especially if you don't watch independent media, you might not be aware of what I'm going to tell you. So you may be aware, because it's such a bizarre thing, that Donald Trump is destroying the East Wing of the White House. We'll just say part of the White House. So the East Wing is normally, it has been up until now, because it's gone, where the First Ladies would, do their thing. But what you may not be aware of is that under the East Wing, there is a bunker. And the purpose of that bunker was for the president to be to have a place to go that's protected in the event of a nuclear war. So there is no coincidence in anything that's happening with this regime. So it's no coincidence that this whole demolition is taking place, and during that time, Trump is renovating the bunker. At the same time that he has increased ICE's budget by, was it 700%? It's 700 something. It might be 700 times or 700%. But bottom line, ICE has a whole lot of money. And this money has been used to purchase bombs and military grade weapons and perhaps tanks. I know bombs for sure. And so, considering that ICE is a domestic organization of maxed men and a few women who may or may not be dressed in official outfits, usually they're not, who show no identification, and when they have been identified, have no real credentials to be doing any kind of law enforcement thing. There was a $50 bonus given, $50,000 bonus given to white men who want to be part of ICE. No matter, they don't have to graduate from high school or anything. They just have to want to abduct people, particularly people of color. But now they've expanded their operations into white people. So while the United States government is investing in this military operation against its citizens, the president is also spending a whole gob of money from private donors, not the American tax dollars. So we're going to get into that in a minute, to fortify his bunker. Now, the issue with the private donors paying for all this is this. Now, you could say, well, my tax dollars aren't paying for it, if you're thinking even that way, because a lot of Americans ain't even thinking about this stuff at all. Is that means private people have a piece of the president, a big chunk. And they're not just giving up money because they just, have a feel-good thing about it. People who give up money like that, they're paying for something. What might they be paying for? How about access to the government so that they can implement AI that can do all kind of things that we're not even aware of to use against private citizens? That's one thing. They have access to all our infrastructure. If they wanted to shut down these rich people who, a lot of them got their wealth because their ancestors were slave owners. A lot of the rich people in the United States who are, rich right now, their family wealth was built on the bondage of Africans. So it's not like, like there's no connection between slavery and all this. So anyway, what I have been concerned about, because I do pay attention to independent media, and the fact that other cities, I'm from Cleveland, so other cities besides Cleveland are already under siege. Most recently Chicago, but also DC, California. I can't forget what city it was in California. What was another one that got attacked? There's DC, there's Chicago right now, There was that city in California, Portland, Oregon. There was Oregon. And so these places have a common denominator where ISIS come in and abducted people. And that is that there's a whole bunch of black people there. Black people. But they go, they attack white people too if they happen to be in those areas. So my point is that we should be very concerned, because this kind of operation of fortifying a bunker under the state, infrastructure, Hitler did that before going to war against against the citizens of Germany, which ultimately blew into the whole Holocaust. And also everything that has been happening under the MAGA regime, Trump, we'll say Trump regime, but he's not the head of it. He's a puppet. There's people that have been, working behind the scenes, ever since the inception of the United States. But certainly it kind of picked up steam under Reagan. What was my point in saying that? I don't know what my point was. Well, I know what I'm thinking, which is that there's a plan. And the plan is to attack us, people of color, and everybody else who's not a very rich white man, and overtake the country and basically enslave us. Whether they call it slavery or not, it's going to be, we don't have freedoms. So I talked to somebody about this today, somebody I know, and I was like, can you help me to try to get young people on board so they can start being a part of the resistance, because we need that. And I know that's a very strong language, but you got a government that's using weapons that none of us have even seen unless we've been in combat, and are gathering those weapons up for a domestic attack. So to be saying, this person was like, calm down. I'm like, you know what? I got to get off the phone, because obviously you don't know what time it is. And I know you don't know what time it is because of what you're saying to me. And I wish I was wrong, but I'm not.